All right, so I thought it might be helpful to talk a little bit about understanding by design, and particularly essential questions and big ideas. Usually this is an area where people have some misconceptions, so hopefully I'll clarify it. So let's remember first that the whole idea behind the understanding by design framework is to give teachers a framework, a model for curriculum design. And it's a model for curriculum design that is designed around student engagement and open-ended, student-centered kind of work. And so really what they're talking about is not is uncovering a curriculum rather than covering. Like we normally talk about, well, I have to cover this, this, and this. In understanding by design, we think about uncovering, so allowing students to discover and explore things, and doing it from a backwards line perspective can be very powerful. And in my own practice as a teacher, it was extraordinarily powerful. So let's start with big ideas / enduring understandings. So sometimes people are confused about this. So first off, regardless of at what level you're doing it, at a course, for a unit, even for a lesson, these are foundational things. So one way to think about it is like this. So imagine there was something you knew really well or you were really passionate about, and you met somebody who had never heard of it before, and you could only tell them the three most important things about it. What would you tell them? So if you kind of think about it that way, that's the place from which you will construct your big ideas / enduring understandings. So they want to be broad, they want to be engaging if possible, and they're very much not content centered. So let's see. For example, if I were designing a unit on ecology, one of my big ideas could be that everything is related to everything else. So that's a big idea, and it applies to most of our study of ecology. Another one could be, sometimes people make a mess. That's my wording. I like them to be kid-friendly, although there's no requirement that you do so. So hopefully that clarifies a little bit about enduring understanding / big ideas. So now let's talk a little bit about essential questions. So now we take the topic, and you're thinking, all right, what are 2 to 3 questions that I could formulate that would really be provocative and draw people into the fundamentals of the topic? So for example, let's say that I were teaching the scientific method or scientific process. A really good an essential question that I'm very fond of is, how do scientists think and work? So hopefully it's something that's engaging, that would bring students and other people into the question, doesn't have only one answer. So content level questions like, how many chromosomes are there in the human cell? That's not a good essential question. It's a great content level question, but it's not a good essential question. If I were teaching genetics, how do living things, let me say it this way, how do the instructions for life pass from parent to child, or from parent to offspring? That's another example. So again, you're going to think of essential questions as big foundational ideas or understandings inside the topic that you're dealing with, and essential questions are questions designed to be provocative and bring somebody into that topic. I like them to be, and Wiggins and McTighe agree with this, no more than 2 or 3 of each at whatever level you're doing it. So you're going to do it at the course level and then at the unit level, so no more than 2 or 3 of each. Hopefully this helps. Certainly if you have questions, ask them, and I look forward to seeing your work.